This unit will be on unit conversions. This is a basic skill that you're going to be using over and over in general chemistry. The units that we'll be using in general chemistry are the SI units. The simple units that we'll be starting with are mass, which is given in kilograms, length, meters, temperature in Kelvin, and time in seconds. There are other SI units that you'll be learning as we go through the course, but this is a good set to start with. There are also some SI prefixes. These prefixes allow us to change simply between grams to kilograms or milligrams. The ones you'll be using most often are kilo, milli, and micro. Kilo is 1,000 or 10 to the third in scientific notation. Milli is 1/1000th or 10 to the minus third in scientific notation. And micro is 1/1,000,000th or 10 to the minus sixth in scientific notation. This allows us to convert easily between one unit and another. If we think about milligrams to grams to kilograms, it takes 1,000 milligrams to equal 1 gram. It takes 1,000 grams to equal 1 kilogram. This allows us to do a simple problem. Let's convert 525 milligrams to kilograms. Now, if we think about the mathematics that's going into this, we need to think about the fact that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. If we divided 1 kilogram by 1,000 grams, because they're equal, that quantity would be 1. We also should remember that if we take any quantity and multiply by 1, we'll get the same value. This allows us to convert easily using dimensional analysis and the simple representation 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams and 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. We want to start with the 525 milligrams and convert that into kilograms. Now I'm going to use a simple dimensional analysis graph here. I'll show you in a second what this means with just proportions. If we start with 525 milligrams, we have milligrams on the top, so therefore we want milligrams on the bottom. We have a simple way to go from milligrams to grams, and so therefore we can put grams on top. We can also then see that we can put grams on bottom and kilograms on top. If we have 1,000 milligrams is equal to 1 gram, and 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. Putting those all in, we check for our units. We see that milligrams will cancel. We see that grams can cancel. And we just do the mathematics to come up with our value, 0.000525 kilograms. We can represent this dimensional analysis chart also in just simple multiplication. So therefore we take 525 milligrams times 1 gram over 1,000 milligrams times 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams. And we get, of course, the same value. It's simple to convert between the same system values using these SI prefixes. What you'll also have to do is convert between unit systems. The conversion between unit systems is a little bit more complex, and we will need some conversion factors. The reason what we need to convert from SI units to another system is that also science uses SI units for the most part. There are other disciplines that do not follow the SI unit system. In fact, if we think about the United States does not use the standard international units. If we think about a simple question, how many miles would you run once you completed a 5K race? Remember that a 5K race is actually 5 kilometers. So what we're going to need to do is to convert from 5 kilometers to miles. So therefore we're going to need a conversion factor. Conversion factor, 1 mile is equal to 1.6093 kilometers. We can also say that 1 kilometer is equal to 0.62137 miles. If we set up the same system as before, we're going to start with 5 kilometers, and we want to end up with miles. We want the same unit on the bottom, so therefore we're going to have kilometers on the bottom and miles on the top. We can use any of these systems here I'm going to choose the first one, which had 1.6093 kilometers is equal to 1 mile. We do the mathematics and we see that a 5-kilometer race is 3.1069. Unit conversions are simple to do, but it's very important that you practice. You need to be very competent at doing these calculations because they're essential to many of the more advanced calculations you're going to be doing later in the course. Practice these, become reliable and confident that you know how to do unit conversions.